I've been working on moving around a little bit again as my energy's coming back, trying to reteach my body what it can do, or what it used to be able to do. So let's see how this looks. I'm a little sore, actually from kicking and stuff the other day, but here we go. Don't expect to be impressed, but here we go. Getting to where I can jump a little bit more again. Still need to work on my balance. My right hamstring's really giving me some trouble. Oh well. This side's better in terms of the hamstring, but my balance actually isn't great because the knee's still kind of weak. But some of it has improved. Can't go as high on this side or as fast. I'm gonna have to work on this hamstring for a while. Probably a bunch of other stuff too. But axe kick on the left side, and that's cold. I can do that cold just about any day. But the right side, not nearly as good, especially after I worked it so hard the other day. It's kind of irritable. But this is getting better. I'm back in the gym doing more leg workouts, learning how to jump, which is nice. Just little turns and stuff. So we're getting there. Pivoting a little faster on this leg, so if I do a back kick here, not as bad. Again, from the side, it'll look like this. Try it without hopping off to the side there. Back kick on the other side, pivoting on my better knee. But I'm not as coordinated. I never used to throw back kicks as much with my left leg. As you can see. Let's try one more. From here, a little better. From the side, well, maybe I'll go this way just to keep it symmetrical. So, pivoting, coming through. Boom. I'm trying to kick high, it's still gonna stretch out this leg more than I want. So I'm going to keep it a low kick. From here, boom. Not bad. The knee hurts, it's sore, but not in a way that makes me worried, which is good. Let's do a couple more. Here, boom. It's turning into kind of a turning sidekick. That's just what I've got today. And if you don't know the difference between a back kick and a side kick, I can maybe do a video on that at some point. Here, well, at least in terms of how I was taught. So that's an asterisk there. The way I was taught initially, I'm not saying it's the only right way or whatever. I'm way past that. The dogmatic nonsense, like, ooh, you have to do the kick or the punch or the whatever this way. A lot of that's nonsense. Or a lot of it makes sense, but only under certain contexts. All right. Roundhouse kick turn into back kick. The nice little combo, used to do all the time. Pop, bang. Again. Pop, bang. So that's feeling pretty good. So I'm having to snap a kick out with the surgical knee. One, put it down, pivot, kick with the other leg. So this is my base leg now. And continue pivoting at least part way around. I didn't trust this to do that move, definitely not at that speed, a couple months ago. So it looks like I was improving for a while, improvement slowed, then it went flat, then it actually dipped when I was sick, and now it's going back up again. that's where we are. I'm 15 months post-op, 15, 16 months, something like that. So you would think I'd be back to normal, but with life being what it is, not back to normal yet, but that's okay. All right, now, other side. Roundhouse kick right, back kick left. So coming with the back leg, you can also do this with a skip, but I'll do it just with the back leg. So I'm initially pivoting on the weak knee. 1, 2. So you notice my entry is a little slower. That's not just because of the knee, it's also because of the hamstring on the right side, which is hurt. But again, if I go here, 1, 2, I'll let the momentum kind of get away from me there. Ideally, what I tell people is you're throwing the kick is not throwing you, which basically just means hold back a little bit so you're not totally flinging yourself off to the side or whatever. So if you throw a kick or in technique where you're spinning and it's so hard that you can't stop the spin, dial it down a notch, back it off a little bit until you're at a point where you can control it. Because if you're actually ever fighting somebody, sparring with somebody, whatever, they'll take advantage of that. At least if they're skilled and they know what to look for. 1, 2. So I slowed that one down for myself. Feels pretty good. I can clean up that first kick though, because I'm kind of slicing it. Let's go more across, so a little bit more parallel to the floor. Here, 1, 2. Okay? Again. And this is a good way, I think, to get the muscles to kind of chill out a little bit. 1, 2. Getting them to recognize that it's okay, they can handle this. 1, 2. I'll switch to the other side. Go back to this side and let's see how this feels. 1, 2. A little off. Balance wasn't great. Let's do better. 1, 2. That's better. That feels a lot better. There's like a pocket that the kick, to me, feels like it kind of slides out of and into when things go right. So when I'm doing this back kick, it feels better, you know, when I'm in that sweet spot. And it just did on that last kick, but not the one before. Let's see if I can replicate that. 1, 2. Almost. There's just something, even the sound that it makes, depending on what you're wearing. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining it. But, there we go, a couple of kicks there. How about a side kick, huh? Let's do that. So let me get a little closer. Classic, very standard classic, my version anyway, Taekwondo. Base leg pointing away from the direction you're kicking. So if I'm kicking to my left, I'm going to point my other foot this way. Boom. Knee up to opposite shoulder. Boom. Hands don't just dangle. So I'm going to bring them up. Something like this. I've kind of bladed my foot. I'm not just letting it hang. And I'm not just pulling my foot or my dorsiflexing my ankle basically. I'm doing that plus a little bit of a turn. This just feels better for me and how it kind of locks my ankle. It may not feel that way for you, and that's okay. But I come up, looking over here, boom. Let's speed that up. Less talky, more dewy. Right? 1, 2, 3. Boom. I can't kick face height very easily on this side, again, because of my right hamstring. I will eventually get that back. So one way we can do this, actually, I used to practice this a lot with jumps or just with a slide, coming off to an angle. Opponent somewhere over here, I just go here, bah, and just kind of come offline. There are times and places when you might want to do that. Again here, boom, that felt pretty good. Learning or relearning how to let this leg relax a little bit more. A lot of things in my body, I guess, have become, for lack of a better word, guarded. Months of inactivity, months of injuries and other issues when I wasn't just doing the movements, putting myself in these different positions, loading the joints in various ways. Eventually, if you want to assign consciousness to the body, in some way the nervous system, I guess, decides that it doesn't like that stuff anymore, or it's afraid of that stuff. So you got to kind of reteach it. If I'm doing this kick to you, to the camera, my other foot is again pointing back this way. I can just do it here, or I can slide. And there are a couple of ways I can actually partly pick the foot up already and then slide. I'm relearning how to do that with the weaker knee. Or I can actually do a step. I can do a partial step where my feet kind of just come together, or I can do a deep step. The rear leg or support leg comes through and behind the kicking leg, boom, stretching out the hip more, knee pops up to the shoulder, and then foot comes out. Bang, boom. From the side, it'll look like this. Either I just pick it up and kick, or I do kind of a little slide where the feet kind of come together, pop, bang. Sometimes the leg drags a little where the leg's partly extended. It kind of just swings up, and then I finish my extension. Some people consider that sloppy. It's a longer conversation. Sometimes, again, if we do that deep step, we're stepping here, stretching some of this out. If I time it well, the body kind of springs a little bit. So, hands up, we can even grab our uniforms if I had one on. Here, bam. There we are. Other side. So now I'm sliding and basing on the surgical knee. I got to learn how to redo this, or relearn how to do this. That's a better way to say it. So, pivoting away, boom. Now the kick actually is a lot better. I'm a right-footed guy, so snapping stuff out with my right leg usually is pretty good, as long as I'm not feeling too tight, I guess. Here. That feels pretty good. I can snap that out from the side. Here, pop. So it's like a jab, but with your leg, right? Just come in here, somebody's coming towards me, and I go, nope, stay back there. The knee's handling that pretty well. If I slow it down, 1. If I want to do it more formally, I bring this knee back to my shoulder, 2. Kicking straight out, or as straight as I can make it, 3. And then back. Where this hand goes depends on some of your dogma and how you've been taught. I've trained with schools that do it this way, where they actually make the whole body very horizontal. Kick comes out here, I reach out this other way like this. I'm not a fan of that, for reasons I won't get into. So I tend to pull back from that a little bit and do something more like this. Some of a lean, but my body's kind of still curved, so my head is upright. Boom. I prefer that. I feel better doing that. Does it change where your balance is? Yes, it does. Or where your center of mass is, rather. All right. Partial skip. Or to slow that down, I basically am tapping my feet together. That's just my style. You don't actually have to touch them. But it's just a way of kind of going, okay, that's as far as this leg goes. So I start here. You can maybe hear it. You'll hear my foot pop up, or you'll hear the sound and see my foot pop up. There. I used to do that when I would spar a lot. Just a little light skip. Bop. A little light skip. Bop. Now I am having to make sure I pivot my foot because of the directions of these forces. If I'm doing a really big swing side to side and my foot stays pointed this way, now the knee might have a tendency to bend in ways it doesn't want to bend, which is what happened the first time I tore my ACL. So I don't want that. So the kick is coming from something more like this. Flexion and extension in the direction or in the plane that the knee kind of wants to move in. So I might start off with my foot here, but as I'm sliding in, before I put a bunch of weight back on it, I've turned it. Here, boom. Okay. And then we have the full skip. So that is where, again, stepping behind, or the full step, if you will. I'm stepping behind the kicking leg, forming a base. I'm moving my base from back here to up here. Boom, boom. And that feels pretty nice for me. Let me back up a little more. That feels pretty nice. Boom. Not a lot of effort there. I can just kind of tap it or pop it out there. Boom. Here. Pretty good. I can tap someone on the chest, or if I want to go a little lower, somewhere, solar plexus, gut, whatever, fold them in half. Boom. You can pop them right in the front of the pelvis if you don't care about penalties if you're doing formal taekwondo sparring, because you can't kick below the belt. So there we go. Let's do one or two towards the camera. So again, here, you kind of see if I can do this. My balance is good enough to do this now. I used to be able to do this all day long. If I keep my foot pointed straight towards you, you're basically seeing the whole sole of my foot here. Striking surface often, in traditional terms, at least the way I was taught. Well, do we still have our balance? Yeah, okay. Tight fist. Often it was the heel, but you can do another version. I was initially taught with the heel, and then over time I started doing a combination heel and blade edge of the foot. That's the outer, more lateral portion of the foot, but still the bottom. So that is here. If I turn my foot down a little bit, there, okay? Anyway, if you're coming towards me, I just want to kind of say, nope, back up, just here, pop, no big deal. Foot up and out, boom, okay? From the side, again, it's here, up and out, boom. Partial skip or a light skip. Feet kind of tap together, pop. Still pretty quick, right? It's not quite as quick as just picking up the foot and tapping it out like a jab with the forward hand, but it's pretty quick. And then if I want to do something deeper, if I want to launch somebody across the room, then I have that deeper step. I'm exaggerating it here, but it's turning the hip. And from here, I move my base from back here to up here, and then I have a wound up leg that I use to kick with. Boom. Let me see if I can slow that down, make it look smoother. Step. Picking up the knee, out. I will eventually learn how to regain, I guess, all the function in this knee to where it's really strong and stable. I used to be able to stand on this foot and just tap, 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 throw all kinds of kicks before putting my foot down. I'm not there yet, but I've made some progress and I can feel like I might get there again. So I'm okay with that. And again, one more time, deep step, bang. Boop. So that's where we are right now. Just a little light exercise. I've worked out pretty hard the last few days. Which is progress. My fatigue was so bad for a while. For those who don't know, I had long COVID issues, and I still do have them. I still have days where my energy's not very good. I'm trying really hard to take advantage of the energy when I do have it, which is why I'm doing this. And I figure if I just keep the momentum going, eventually it'll become normal again. Just to be training and doing this stuff. So here we are. But I had a ton of fatigue for a really long time, and everything hurt. And I was really tired, and so I was lucky to make it to the gym once a week. And even then, it might be a 20-30 minute workout that wasn't very good. I'm far beyond that, though I'm not back to my peak, whatever that was, but we're moving in the right direction. So here I am revisiting some of it. Probably not going to the gym today, it's Sunday, but doing a little bit of light stuff around the house, some chores, some other work, but making sure I'm decently rested, and I move around a little so I don't start feeling too lethargic. So here we go. Anyway, thanks if you watch this, if you're interested. When time allows and my energy is back to where it needs to be, or where I want it to be, I might restart some of those Taekwondo practices I only did a couple of back during the summer or whatever it was. We'll see. As it is, I'm still kind of sniffly. Like when I exercise a lot, my nose starts to run. I apologize. I hope that's not too gross. But it's just a thing. It always happens somewhat, even when I was at my healthiest. So it's not a sign that I'm like dying or anything. But it happens earlier in the workout when I'm out of shape. So 15 minutes or so of just this light stuff. I still get a little sniffly, but I'm not wheezing and out of breath. My lungs aren't about to explode. I don't feel like I'm about to pass out. I probably look a little better than the last time I did any exertion on camera. Maybe not. I don't know. But there you go. I don't know. I just felt like doing this. Anyway, I'll do a little bit more stuff, but you guys don't need to see all of that right now. If you watch this, thanks for the interest, I guess, and the support. And I will share more as I have the time and as my body feels up to it. And I would love to get back to doing what I love to do. One of the biggest things I love to do is martial arts. So we'll see. I'll catch y'all later.